Guys all good down the side there? You good? Okay. Chief, if you're ready, I'm going to hit our button, sir. Hold on. All right, Chief, we're ready, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your patience. I'm Executive Chief Slinkard of the Houston Police Department. We're out here this afternoon in the 8700 block of Josie on what's an officer-involved shooting incident. And I'm going to give you the preliminary information that we have this afternoon. I'm joined here by Executive Assistant Chief Larry Satterwhite over patrol operations, and also by Commanders Brian Bennett and James Dale. And so I've already briefed Chief Fenner on this scene and what's going on regarding our investigation this morning. Chief Fenner is out of town on city business, and I've already briefed the mayor, and the mayor's handling other city business as well. And so I'll give you the preliminary information that we have, what we know to this point, and then understand that some investigation will go on for quite some time out here. We'll be out here for several hours processing the scene. So about 10 o'clock this morning, members of one of our tactical teams were conducting a violent fugitive investigation, and they were looking for somebody that was wanted for outstanding warrants. They were in this area around 10 o'clock this morning looking for that suspect. About 2 o'clock this afternoon, they saw an individual that they believed was the suspect that they were looking for. They continued their surveillance, and about 2:45 this afternoon, that suspect got into the passenger side of a vehicle that's here on this scene. That vehicle then left that location, which was only several blocks from where we are now. And for traffic violations and also to get this wanted suspect into custody, officers initiated a traffic stop. The driver of that vehicle did not stop when officers initiated emergency equipment, and a short pursuit ensued. That pursuit came this direction in the 8700 block of Josie and ended behind me on this scene. The officers, when they got on this street, understanding that the suspect was not stopping, the driver of that vehicle initiated an intervention technique to actually stop the vehicle in the safest manner as possible. Once the vehicle was stopped, officers began to exit their vehicles and approach. As they were approaching, our preliminary review of body-worn camera information this afternoon shows that the suspect, who was in the passenger side, who was the wanted fugitive, exited the vehicle, the passenger side. Now, we're going to have to review a lot more video to see exactly what happened as the officers approached, but upon that approach, when the suspect exited the vehicle, he had a bag in his hand, and one officer discharged his weapon as he was approaching. That suspect was struck. In that bag that's here on the scene, we have what is a semi-automatic pistol. I don't know the caliber or the make right now. Crime scene units will be processing the scene, but we do have a semi-automatic pistol that's inside the bag that the suspect was in custody of. That will be processed as part of the evidence out here on the scene. Only one officer discharged. No officers were injured as a part of this incident, and we do not believe that the suspect was able to fire off any rounds as part of this incident. So all of those things and a complete review of body-worn camera video will be part of the ongoing investigation. This officer is a member of one of our tactical teams that is out here looking for violent fugitives and out here looking for individuals that are wanted on cases. Our preliminary information tells us that this suspect, an African-American male, approximately 30 years of age, is wanted right now on 3 that we know of felony warrants. One for felon in possession of a firearm, one for aggravated assault, likely with a deadly weapon, and we're looking more into that case, and then also on a previous felony evading case, for a felony evading the police case. The driver of the vehicle, who was not the suspect that the apprehension team was looking for this afternoon, the driver of that vehicle is in custody, right, and is in custody for the evading, right, for not stopping when police initiated the traffic stop. That driver will also be questioned as part of a witness to the officer-involved shooting. We have our Harris County District Attorney's Office out here conducting their investigation. Our Special Investigations Unit of the Homicide Division is out here along with the Houston Forensic Science Center. As per our protocol, this officer will be on administrative duties while we start our investigation, but also in accordance with our policy, an initial release of body-worn camera footage will be done within 30 days, as you know, is our policy, even if the investigation is continuing. So, you know, this is the second time that I've stood before you this week where we've had an officer-involved shooting when officers were in the course of conducting investigations to try to take fugitives into custody that are wanted on multiple warrants, and in this case as well, multiple felony warrants. And while there's still a lot of investigation to do, and this information is only preliminary as it relates to the details of this shooting. It just underscores, right? These officers, at any given moment, while trying to take people into custody, even in the safest manner possible, are sometimes facing all too often armed individuals, and all too often armed individuals that are wanted, right, on felony cases. And so obviously it's a very dangerous situation for everybody involved. I'm very pleased that no other citizens were injured as part of this incident. There was no other property damaged as part of this incident. We do have the damage to the patrol vehicle that initiated the stop, and we have the damage to the vehicle that the suspect was driving. Other than that, no other damage and no other injuries. This suspect was transported from this location for that gunshot wound to Bentop Hospital, where unfortunately he succumbed to his injuries and was later pronounced deceased at Bentop Hospital. This underscores also that every single time that we have these encounters, any loss of life is tragic. Any loss of life is tragic, and there's obviously families that need to be prayed for, and let's remember to keep everybody involved in these types of incidents in our prayers. With that, I'll yield and take any questions that you all have.
You said he had 3 felony warrants, aggravated
that we know
assault
of.
with a deadly weapon, felony evading. What was the last one?
Felony evading, and the last one was felon in possession of a firearm. On the aggravated assault, we're still trying to determine if that was involving a deadly weapon. That was an aggravated assault case warrant.
Okay.
You said he reached into his bag.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I said he came out of the vehicle with the bag where we have recovered a pistol in that bag.
But he had exited the vehicle.
He had exited the vehicle, it appears, from our preliminary look on the body-worn camera video. But there's a lot more video for us to review. Can't do that in the short amount of time that we have out here to try to give you an update.
What kind of bag?
That'll be part of the investigation. Just a bag, no description that I can really give you at this point.
And were they in the silver vehicle, or what vehicle?
There are several vehicles down there. The one that's more the SUV style vehicle is the vehicle the suspect was driving, and the silver unmarked vehicle is an unmarked police vehicle. And then also you have the patrol vehicles down there. The actual intervention technique to get them stopped was done with a marked patrol unit.
And that was my next question in regard to intervention maneuver technique, as you would call it. I know that we've also been helping you guys a lot about cases or pursuits involving suspects. Is this one of the maneuvers to try to avoid more casualties or innocent people, bystanders?
It is.
About how long was this individual?
I don't know. I don't know the dates on the cases, but I do know that our tactical team that is out here working today has been looking for this particular individual for at least a couple of weeks.
How long was the chase for?
I can't hear you, sir.
Well, how long was the chase for?
Very short. It initiated only several blocks from where we are now, so the chase was able to be concluded pretty fast. It didn't go very far.
Are you releasing the suspect's name?
We are not at this time.
In his office.
You said
Okay.
about 30.
No, I said about 30.
Now, did you use the address of where it was initiated?
I did not, just several blocks from this location.
So did he live in this area?
I do not know.
Any other
Anything else?
questions?
Anything else I
Was
can...
it just one officer who fired shots at the suspect?
Yeah, only one officer.
As you said, this is the second case involving gunfire this week. How are emotions with everybody? Is everybody feeling all right? Can you give any statement on that?
Well, look, we're going to come out here every single day, as the chief has said, and we're going to be laser focused on trying to get into custody, right? Individuals that have warrants out for their arrest, and especially on violent cases, and especially cases involving felonies. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to do that work. Obviously, as I said yesterday at our press conference, we want to do that in the safest manner possible, and we want people to comply. We never want incidents to end like this. Of course, there's a lot more investigation to do here, as with any case, when there's an officer involved shooting. But it just underscores, right, how dangerous these encounters are for everybody involved. For everybody.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, I don't know. That'll be part of the investigation, but I'm not positive, so I don't want to speculate.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you everybody for your patience. I appreciate you.